Oh, in the middle of doing some routine work on this scooter, I'm also going to do a basic engine service, which also includes an oil change. So I'm going to do just a very short video showing how to do a gearbox oil change on a classic two-stroke Vespa. Probably not very much difference from any of the older Vespa models, whether it be a Sprint, a Rally. This is a PX engine, a P200E engine, right up to the later model PX200E, etc. The principles will be exactly the same. So we'll run through the oil change. First of all though, this is a little bit mucky under here. It's not too bad, but it's not that great. So I'm just going to get a bit of WD-40 in a cloth and just clean it up before I start. Now we've got that bit of road gunk off, we can have a closer look. The filler point is here. This is it's like a nut with also a big crosshead in there, so you can get a meaty screwdriver in. And the drain plug is right there. There's the drain plug, very simple. So we're going to undo the drain plug, let the oil out. In the meantime, we'll also pull out the filler point as well, and make sure the air can get in and oil can come out, and we'll do a simple refill. This is where you try not to drop the drain nut in the oil, but oh, look at that, it's absolutely crystal clear. Definitely didn't need to be changed. It's nice to see though, that really is. Slight issue with this scooter, and it's not really an issue, it's just makes sometimes these things a little bit some of them easier, some of them more difficult. The easy part of this is because it's got the side stand on, the scooter is leaning slightly over to the left, which makes this a bit more accessible when it's on the jack. But what I need to do now is to very gently, so I don't want the scooter to fall off, just pull it upright and make sure I've drained all the oil. The fact that the oil is in such good nick and probably didn't need to be changed doesn't really mean that I need to drain every last drop out of it, but just good practice. Just pinching that rather than locking it solid, because we want the fibre washer to do its job. So if you over tighten it, you'll end up just destroying the fibre washer. So just now, to try and get the oil from a container like this into a little hole like that, sometimes takes a little bit of ingenuity, very long narrow funnel, but I've been to a local pharmacy and bought one of these. It's a large syringe. The oil capacity in here is 250 millilitres. The beauty of having a syringe is obviously I'm going to be able to measure it in. Now, I was pretty self-conscious about going into a pharmacy this morning to buy a syringe. Seeing what 2 or 3 other people were in the pharmacy for, I needn't have worried at all. So I'll carry on with this now. That's 50 ml, so it'll be 5 syringe fulls, or 3.5, depending, 4.5, depending on how I fill it and how much I spill. And hopefully that'll be the right quantity for the gearbox. I'm going to take a guess. I reckon that that's roughly 250 mils, maybe allowing for a bit of spillage. What you'd normally do on these with the scooter upright on a centre stand is you just fill it until it's full, and as it starts coming back out, that's as full as it can be. Because this is leant over, as I said earlier, on the side stand, I'm going to have to sort of hold it upright now and see if we get a little bit of oil showing in the threads here, which is another little bit of a balancing act, but that's the price you pay for style, I guess, over function. Not sure there's quite enough there. I'll pop a bit more in. Okay, just popped a little bit more in. Let's try again. Drop it off the stand, particularly when you're on camera. Pop that upright, and with a bit of luck I can see a bit of oil coming through onto what, there it is. Don't know if that's coming up on the camera, but there's just a drip of oil coming out of the bottom there, so which means that, yeah, I haven't got a spirit level, scooter's pretty upright, means that that's full. Replace the filler cap screw or bolt. If I had a better bolt, I'd swap that, you know. It's quite a wide thread in there, a wide cut in the head for a screwdriver. Just going to see what I might have. Well, just found, there we are, we in focus, found this bolt that's they're exactly the same size thread. I've trimmed it down a little on the length, and that'll do the job quite nicely. That's far better because it means you can just get a little socket on there and nip it up. As it turns out, I can't quite get a socket on there. There's not enough gap between the nut and the crankcase, but little open-ended spanner. Careful not to over tighten because we're into steel into aluminium, but just a little nip up, enough just to compress the fibre washer. Should be plenty. There we go.